I'm Rose Benege. This is Station 5. Jesus meets the women of Jerusalem. Luke 23:27 through 31. A great number of people followed him, and among them were women who were beating their breasts and wailing for him. But Jesus turned to them and said, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me, but weep for yourselves and your children. For the days are surely coming when they say, 'Blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bore, and the breasts that never nursed.' Then they will begin to say to the mountains, 'Fall on us,' and to the hills, 'Cover us.' For if they do this when the wood is green, what will happen when it is dry? Have you ever really mourned for someone? Perhaps you've lost a loved one recently. Perhaps you've lost someone or something very special to you, and you need time to grieve. Mourning is a part of living. Mourning is a process. It takes time. Mourning is a journey. Are you mourning the loss of anyone or anything? Talk to Jesus about this. Have you ever mourned for Jesus? Consider the loss of Jesus. The loss the women and men following Jesus felt as they saw him on his way to die. They thought he would ride in on a white horse and deliver Jerusalem and all of Israel from the Romans. Instead, they were watching him go to a criminal's death, the death on a cross. How would that make you feel? Isaiah 61, 1 through 3. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach the good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from the darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord, for the display of his splendor. Ecclesiastes 3, 1 through 8. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stone and a time to gather them, a time to remember and a time to refrain, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace.